Having recently completed the first season of the live-action One Piece, I can confidently say that it's not nearly as bad as what everyone was saying it was going to be when those first few trailers came out. First off, before I really get into any meat and fucking potatoes of the video, if you haven't seen either the anime, haven't read the manga, or haven't watched at least a little bit of the live action, get out of here. Go watch my other videos, okay? But for the moment, pack it, beat it, scram. Spoilers ahead. Right when the trailers came out and we saw like the Gum Gum pistol for the first time, right? A bunch of people were like, ew, sucks, garbage. Did I think it was great? No, but I really didn't think it was bad by any means either. You know, a lot of things that they showed in those first, was it one trailer or was it a couple? I can't remember, in all honesty. A lot of things they previewed firsthand. They weren't great, but they weren't bad either. I'm completely caught up with the One Piece anime, Gear 5, Zunisha. I've seen it all. So you'd think that like a super fan has harsh words to say about something that's not perfect. One Piece itself isn't perfect. The anime itself is not perfect by any means. What do you want me to do? That first episode, I'm just gonna say it. I really liked it. Luffy has the same problem in the live action that he does in the dub. You can't really hear his attack moves. You heard that Gum Gum pistol, right? That's kind of like the first episode. They were really kind of throwing a lot at you, and I'm sure they wanted to get that punch right. The first episode of a show is important. It's what pulls you in. If it wasn't impressive, you might not even finish the first episode, or if you do, you might not have been reeled in to continue the rest of the show, right? So I'm almost positive that's why, you know, that first we could hear what he was saying, Gum Gum pistol, boom, he did it, whatever. The CGI, I'm gonna also add, really wasn't that bad. I don't know, I feel like a bunch of people are a little too harsh when it comes to judging things that relates to their favorite movies, shows, cartoons, books, whatever have you. Their favorite hobbies, interest, that's the word I'm looking for. Excuse my neighbors, they're playing Slam the Door Olympics. Place your bets for who the fuck's gonna win. Not everything needs to be 4K, 120p. But that's a different conversation for later. I went into this with low expectations, and I feel like a lot of people could benefit from that, because you see something cool and it's just like, oh, you know, it fucking takes that shit and raises it. The experience itself is better than you expected it to be. So I went in thinking, oh, live action adaptation of an anime. It's gonna be shit. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be bad. I was wrong. Blew my expectations out of the water. I know for a fact there are people who piss, shit, and cry all over the floor just like little babies that, oh my god, the anime wasn't pixel by pixel, perfect, exact adaptation of the manga. Oh, it's terrible. They probably brought that same mentality over to the live action. And they're like, oh, this sequence of events didn't go in the same order. We don't really get as much story from these certain characters. Things happen a little faster. I don't know. I guess common sense went out the window with these people. What did you expect? You know, One Piece is one of those animes where it's just, it's difficult to replicate the attacks, especially Luffy's attacks. Part of me has a feeling that even like Marvel Studios would have trouble replicating it perfectly. You know what I mean? They're a little too cartoonish. But I feel like the live adaptation did a good job of doing that. I don't really want to take personal jabs at the actors themselves, because for the most part, they did an amazing job. I really love the casting for Luffy, Nami, Usopp. I love the casting for Usopp. Sanji's casting, superb. I like Zoro's casting too. But I have to say, there are some scenes, I'd say maybe for each character. I'm not going to single anybody out, because really, it's truly each character at least has one moment where it's just like, you know, like you see a scene and you're like, oh, a big scene's coming up, let's see it happen. And you know, their performance is little dicey. It's all right. It's nothing crazy. For the most part, though, it's amazing. And you know, a lot of gripes that I initially had about the live action, one of the main ones being Arlong's design. I'm sitting here thinking about it, you know, I first see it and I'm like, oh, what's that all about? And then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, no, like how would they truly do it otherwise in a live action, right? Like, you know what? They actually did fine. They did great. One thing I can truly appreciate is Syrup Village. Even though I'm a diehard fan of the One Piece anime, I'm not a fan of Syrup Village. I like the live action version of Syrup Village more than I do for the anime. They didn't string it out too long. The guy who played Clawhador, he killed it. He fucking rocked it. Love that guy's performance. Kaya was also pretty solid as well, I will say. They took what One Piece did in a handful of hours, and they did it in 45 minutes, and they did it better. Oh, I forgot to mention Kobe. Kobe's casting. Helmeppo. Helmeppo was a solid cast. I'd say maybe my least favorite scenes would have to be when Zoro got his ass beat by Mihawk, and then when Nami asked Luffy to help her. You know, it was alright. That's really all I can say. It was alright. In the fights, they did that one anime thing. I guess it's a Marvel thing too in fights. They did it a lot. It's where, you know, you get hit and you're blown backwards, but you're like... I know, that was solid. I'm looking at OBS right now. That was a solid fucking demonstration. I'm sitting in a chair with no goddamn lumbar support doing this shit. Put me on the sticks. Put me in Netflix, alright? They did that a lot. A little too much if you ask me. You know, the first time it happened against Captain Axehand Morgan, and you're like, ooh, nice. Then they do it again, and it's like, ooh, okay. And then they do it like 4 more times, and it's just like, alright, choreographer, whoever they were, found their fucking specialty and milked that shit like a goddamn cow. They went after that. But really, besides that, it's really solid. You know, this video might have sounded like a huge complaining video. It was more so of me trying to explain how, like, it's not perfect by any means. It's not nearly as bad as some people are making it out to be. I feel like people need to not rush into everything and be like, it's not perfect right off the bat. What? Of course it's not. They've already been promoting a season 2. They've even started talking about Jamie Lee Curtis being cast as Dr. Kureha. It's not so much as just like a, maybe we want to cast Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis herself has been posting online like, y'all better fucking cast me. To make a long story short, live action One Piece is good. I'm actually really excited for season 2. Can't wait. If you've stayed this long, as always, I appreciate ya. Hope you like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.